I love my home park's coasters. There's a coaster for everyone and then some. But we need to address the elephant in the room. The mighty wooden elephant in the room. Racing elephants that are eagles. I'm talking about American Eagle. American Eagle is arguably the most historic roller coaster at Six Flags Great America. For those unfamiliar with how historic this park's coasters have been, that says a lot. First B&M Invert, almost first B&M Hyper, missed by a month. But first B&M coaster with a height over 200 feet, first B&M coaster, just flat out first B&M coaster, and world's tallest roller coaster, American Eagle.
Come on, let's ride it again!
No way. Unless you let me hold your hand.
Then the park beat its own tallest roller coaster record with Shockwave at Six Flags Great America. Shockwave. Basically, the park's coasters are rich with history, and American Eagle is the peak achievement of this, in my eyes. American Eagle is one of 3 remaining coasters from the Marriott's era. Credit given where it's due, Marriott's was not messing around when they added American Eagle to this park. In 1981, 5 years after Marriott's Great America in Gurnee, Illinois opened, American Eagle opened as the park's grandest attraction. The 2 dueling racing roller coasters opened with such world records as fastest roller coaster, largest drop on a roller coaster, tallest wooden roller coaster, fastest wooden roller coaster, largest drop on a wooden roller coaster, fastest racing wooden roller coaster, longest racing wooden roller coaster, tallest racing wooden roller coaster, and largest drop on a racing wooden roller coaster. American Eagle still retains the last 4 of these world records almost 40 years later. It's cool that it still holds these records, but, I mean, nobody's building racing wooden roller coasters anymore. On that note, I really wish a park would add new racing wooden roller coasters. I digress though. American Eagle is as quintessential Great America as the carousel is. However, it is showing its age these days, more than I'd like to admit. I still really enjoy riding it because it's mostly light on laterals, being an out and back coaster, so even though it's gotten rough, I personally don't find it too uncomfortable, but the same can't be said by everybody. Many people think that Eagle has gotten too rough to enjoy, while others still have it as their favorite in the park. Yes, Eagle is truly that beloved by longtime park goers. Sure, other coasters out there are older, but imagine the toll taken on this ride by these trains traveling at 66 miles per hour for almost 40 seasons. And the most controversial part of American Eagle is of course the big wide helix. After you hit the mid-course brakes, you enter a long helix that gradually builds speed and tension. Towards the end of this helix, it gets incredibly shaky. Like, really shaky. I like the helix, but some people just flat out hate it. I think this helix benefited greatly when the trains raced within close proximity of each other. Generally, the red train would gradually pass by the blue train here, creating a good moment of interactivity. This brings us to a huge glaring issue with this ride, which is that the trains pretty much no longer race. One side will commonly be shut down entirely, even during peak season. Other times, and this is increasingly rare, trains from each side will dispatch separately. This almost renders the ride kind of useless. I enjoy American Eagle a lot, but aren't a lot of the younger park guests going to notice the side-by-side tracks and feel like they're missing out on a key element of the attraction? Yes, they are. Here's a list of all the fun things you can do when interacting with the other train on a racing roller coaster. Exactly why Eagle doesn't race anymore hasn't been officially stated, though I suspect it's not just like laziness. I mean, that's just what I suspect. This is Zero Credits Remaining, interrupting myself, coming live from the Coaster Desk. The rumor mill around American Eagle closing just keeps on rolling. And speculation doesn't end with just one-sided ops and a not-so-slight rattle. This update comes to us from Great American Coasters on YouTube. Wood has been spotted near American Eagle. OMG RMC. Actually, that wood has been there for around like 2 years. Maybe they were gonna do some repairs, but became indecisive. I don't know. That's weird. Another source of speculation goes way back to the Max Force teasers from 2018. American Eagle is completely missing from the render. What does it mean? Probably nothing, because they weren't doing anything with American Eagle in 2019. That was Max Force's year. Okay, well, that was all confusing and underwhelming. Back to me. Woo! Six Flags Great America is home to 5 wooden roller coasters, or 4 depending on how you count racing roller coasters. The first of these coasters to go would probably be American Eagle. If this coaster is replaced in any way, it wouldn't be too surprising if its place was taken by a non-wooden roller coaster. I'm talking hybrid or maybe even steel. Given who Six Flags commonly gets coasters from these days, it would most likely be from manufacturers Rocky Mountain Construction, S&S, or Premier Rides. I don't think they're going to purchase anything for mock rides outside of smaller scale roller coasters. So I believe American Eagle could be completely removed for an RMC Raptor, S&S coaster, or a launched coaster by Premier Rides. S&S coaster would be a large-ish steel coaster, or maybe even the Axis coaster. Who knows? But none of these do I consider to be all that likely in all actuality. An RMC Raptor similar to New Jersey Devil at Six Flags Great Adventure would be the most likely out of these possibilities in my eyes. However, a dueling launch coaster by Premier Rides similar to West Coast Racers would be a very interesting homage to American Eagle. White supports, one track blue, one red. I would be living for that. It would be great to see a racing coaster in this spot. But what I find most likely to happen is the RMC hybrid conversion rumor that's been flying around for a few years now. This gets met with debate because Great America already has an RMC wooden roller coaster, Goliath, which rides very similar to an RMC iBox coaster. But I don't see this as a valid point. This is Six Flags Great America. The park once home to 2 aero loopers, once home to 3 invert coasters, home to 4 to 5, depending on who you ask, wooden coasters. I don't believe for 1 second that they wouldn't add an RMC hybrid conversion just because Goliath is there. Goliath is a fairly unique RMC coaster. It only has 1 airtime hill, 2 if you count the transition into the brakes. This opens the opportunity for RMC American Eagle to be an airtime-focused roller coaster, kind of like Lightning Rod or Twisted Timbers. It probably wouldn't be inversion-focused like Untamed is. A lot of people think that RMCs are all similar to each other, and that's true to a degree, but there is enough variety for a park to house 2 RMC coasters. I don't think it's too far-fetched. This debate just reminds me of other times where the theme park industry did something similar. For example, Cedar Fair adding B&M Giga coasters to 3 parks that already had B&M Hyper coasters. When Hershey Park announced Candymodium, some people asked why the park needed another hypercoaster in addition to Skyrush, as if Candymodium is all that similar to Skyrush. It's not. This stigma that amusement parks never have 2 coasters in a lineup sharing something in common is just confusing to me. I understand why it helps people with predictions, but it can always go either way. It's confusing to me that people doubt an RMC conversion of Eagle with Goliath being their reasoning, but it's normal for Kings Island to add another traditional wooden coaster and another B&M Hypermodel coaster. So, in my opinion, the Goliath argument just doesn't really stand. Also, a Mobius dueling RMC conversion could easily make American Eagle the longest hybrid roller coaster. We know how much Six Flags loves their world records, right? Last August in 2019, Great America was posting a series of teaser videos titled Channel 6 News Updates. Get out your tinfoil hats. For a moment, these videos were teasing with the notion that something could be happening with American Eagle. One video focused on American Eagle, which they couldn't even duel for this promotional video, and they dropped hints by emphasizing words that could be linked to American Eagle.
I don't know about you, Zoe, but has your summer flown by?
The news reporters even started wearing red, white, and blue polo shirts. They were simultaneously teasing a water coaster, which ultimately was the announcement we got. This was not too surprising after the final teaser video, which was focused pretty much entirely around water and storms. However, leading up to the announcement, there was a lot of speculation around American Eagle, especially after that 3rd video, and I think this shows that Great America may be in the early stages of kicking around ideas with changes to this coaster. But because of this coaster's legacy, they could stick with something wooden and a little more faithful to the original. I don't think it needs to be an intense coaster given the additions of Max Force and Goliath. Eagle is, today, a little more of a family attraction when you compare it to the park's more modern additions, but during its opening it was an intimidating, record-breaking monster. So it would be interesting to see which direction they take it, because it could go either way. Six Flags hasn't worked with GCI in quite a while, but the recent reveal of the GCI steel track is very interesting. We like to point out predictions with who Six Flags is going to be working with, but Six Flags was the first to give a chance to an RMC iBox conversion. So for all we know, they could also be the first to give GCI the same exact chance. Chance. No. I don't know. I also have to wonder if Six Flags would want to do a major refurbishment with either GCI or RMC. RMC added Topper Trek to Tremors at Silverwood Theme Park in 2010, and GCI refurbished Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm in 2015. We don't see these things happen often, and I don't know the structural integrity of American Eagle. However, a lot of people suspect that Great America would want to preserve as much of this historic coaster as they can. I don't know how many more seasons American Eagle will operate in its current state. It's sad. It still sees good ridership, but something is clearly up with it. Either way, this is a topic that I will keep following. Subscribe for more videos on Six Flags Great America and coasters in general. This has been Zero Credits Remaining. Now get out there
and ride some iconic coasters like this one.